What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, back with another new video. Today I have a new review for you, and this one's long overdue, so let's get straight into it. Alright guys, Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports. I'm super happy that you guys are here. Thanks for stopping by as always. Before we begin, you know the drill. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification if you enjoyed this content, and that way we can get more videos to you, keep bringing you some reviews. So please, take that out of the way, get that done, and let's get into the review. Okay guys, here we go. Long overdue. I have the Nike Tiempo Legend 9s in this firm ground stud pattern edition. These are long overdue. This is part of the original colorway, I believe. It's the white, the Volt, and the bright crimson colorway, so classic Nike colors. But it's been a while since I've reviewed a Legend. The last one I reviewed was the Legend 8, and I really wasn't that much of a fan of it. I think they've kind of reinvented it with the Legend 9. I think Nike's struggled a little bit in the last little while, the last year and a half or so, if I'm honest. But the Legend 9 looks like it's getting that Legend back on track. First, let's unbox it. We get the shoes. Boot number 1, boot number 2, and of course, we get the string bag. Boom. So the string bag is a Nike classic. All top end boots come with it. This one has that crimson, as they call it, the orange colorway with the yellow graphic. Tiempo branding there. Little logo on the back, pocket inside, and black strings. And now let's talk about the boots themselves. I think with this one, it kind of reminds me of the old Maestri 360 design again. We get these foam pods built into the upper. We have it on the instep here. We have a foam pod with this texture on top of it to give it a sense of kind of grip. We have it along the toe box area over here, and that just reminds me a little bit about the Maestri. It's kind of that material all over again. So we do have kangaroo leather throughout the front half of the boot. We have these foam pod inserts with a little bit of texture on top of them to give you grip. We have this long, big Nike swoosh over here. The back feels almost like a nylon material. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this material, but I do like the forefoot. And then of course you have a mesh tongue underneath. It is a one-piece construction, but at least with this design, it's not a separate tongue, but you're gonna get some elasticity in the tongue. The mesh should stretch out a little bit, allowing the boot to, widen and allowing the user to get their foot inside. We do have these perforations over here where the leather is. They're not really going to do anything in terms of breathability. I think it's just a design standpoint. But overall, the boot looks good. I'm not blown away. I'm not like, oh wow, this is the best Legend that we've ever seen, because I don't think it is. The internal heel counter doesn't seem to be as solid as others. So I'm a little critical there. I think they would have done better with an external heel counter if they were going to use this type of material. The sole plate looks good though. I am a fan of the sole plate. The stud pattern looks fairly good. Again, this is the firm ground model. Stiffener bar that runs out. It's supposed to be a little bit lighter than previous generations. Conical studs for the most part, except for the 4 bladed ones in the heels. I can live with that. But overall, the stud pattern looks good. Again, a little bit lighter. I think they should have used an external heel counter. I would have liked them to use a more, a fancier material here, or just something that feels a little bit better. Any kind of standard synthetic, high quality synthetic usually works well instead of this kind of textured nylon, which again to me just feels a little bit cheap. But the upper looks good. So that's pretty much it. I think they've done a good job. I think they've done what they needed to do to get the Legend back on track. Whether you like the foam pods is kind of totally up to you. I think it's a good idea. It reminds me of the Maestri, which was a really popular boot. That was made of hybrid touch. This is pure kangaroo leather, and it does look good. Way better than the Legend 8, like I said. So let's head on over to the turf to try these things on and see how they fit and feel. So slipping the Tiempo Legend 9 on feet for the first time, overall it feels quite good. What I mean by that is I feel like my foot slides into the boot better. I feel like it kind of moves and bends and flexes a little bit more naturally than the previous leather. The previous one with all those dimples in them tended to have these weird creases in it, and there wasn't a lot of leather on it. I do notice that these foam pods really add some thickness to the leather. It is kind of very padded, but it's not just padded, it's more than that. It's quite thick on feet. I think that'll soften up over time as you use it, but it's not the thinnest boot. So if you are looking for a boot with plenty of padding on it, this is a good option for you. The tongue actually is not as stretchy as I thought it would be. Again, it is a mesh material, but it just doesn't seem to bend and flex as naturally as I would have liked. I also think that the tongue should have ran up just a little bit higher so that you can pull the tongue up so that it doesn't slide down your foot as you tie the laces. And I find the heel area to lack a little bit of comfort, if I'm honest. There's just a little bit of tension back there, a little bit of pressure that I'm not the biggest fan of. Again, I think it's down to the fact that this internal heel counter is not the strongest or not the stiffest. And it just seems that my heel doesn't feel super locked in place. And there's a little bit of irritation caused by the shape of the heel, the way it's cut just around my Achilles tendon. So the material that they used on the inside is not the softest either. I think they could have done better with some sort of suede, soft microfiber textured material. In terms of fit, this is a weird one. This is where Nike can be a little bit off sometimes. I actually went up half a size, and I think that's the right call. I think going up half a size is a solid option. I don't suspect that this boot will stretch all that much. Even though it's kangaroo leather, there's just so much material in it and all these foam pods and everything that I don't think the leather is going to stretch all that much. And in terms of width, my wide feet get into them quite well. Even though I wish there was a little bit more stretch in that mesh tongue, they do fit into these quite well. So if you do have wide feet, it's a solid option. So that's pretty much it. Let's head over to the desk so we can wrap the video up. Alright guys, so there you have it. There's my review of the Nike Tiempo Legend 9. I think they've done a good job. I'm not a fan of the heel. I think they need to go back to the drawing board and redo the entire heel. I wish they would have actually used the fly knit, if I'm honest, instead of this mesh because it's not as flexible as I imagined. They've at least brought the Tiempo Legend back to what it's supposed to be. I really think that it lost its way in the last 2 generations. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you not? Please leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. It really helps the video out, and I need your help. So thanks, guys, for stopping by. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, take care.